Hey there everybody, welcome back to Shorty on the Fly. I'm going to show you something a little bit different today. You may notice that my vise is level rather than on the usual angle that I like to tie at, and that's because we're going to use the rotary function of the vise today. And if you have this, it can come in handy sometimes. It's not necessary all of the time, but there are times like when we're tying a streamer like this on a longer hook, it can be quite handy. And I've got a, this is my bobbin holder. Let me show you how this operates here. This is attached to the vise, okay, and then that enables us to swing it in and out. Let me get myself back to where I want to be here. There we go. Okay, so I can swing this in and out as need be, and this is going to hold my bobbin when we go to use the rotary function. So this is the streamer was handed to me about 20 years ago by an old timer on the Brodhead Creek. He didn't have a name for it. We just call it the Brodhead Old Timer streamer. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. I've got a size 6 streamer hook that we're using. Get that in the vise, and then I'm using black 6.0 Danville for my thread. I'm going to start that maybe 3 hook eyes in back of the hook eye, and I'm taking open spiral wraps. You don't need to dress the hook the entire length, because we're going to have materials that will go in there and they're not going to spin around because of the way they go in, and you'll see that in a minute. You'll see what I'm talking about. So for the tail or tag or whatever have you, I'm using this feather. It's a, I guess it's a duck feather dyed. I got it at the craft store, and we got probably half a dozen fibers here that I'm going to trim off and secure. And I'm going to measure these to be about the gap of the hook. All right. And then I'm going to bring everything back up to the front of the hook in order to keep everything smooth on there. And once we get there, we'll come in and trim away the excess. And the next thing to go on is going to be my rib. And in this case, I'm using medium Mirage Opal Tinsel. And once again, I'm tying that in up at the front, and we're going to work our way back. I'm using open spiral wraps because, as you can see now, there's material on there. It's not going to slip and slide around. I've got a little springy thing on the vise that's used to hold material, so that's exactly what I'm going to do there, and bring my thread back to the front. And in this case, for my body, I am using Unistretch in black. I love this material for longer hooks. It just makes for a really nice looking body. So I'm going to go ahead and tie that in. And once again, open spiral wraps to the back of the hook, and everything is nice and even. Okay. And then come back up to the front, and this is where I'm going to slide my bobbin holder in. Okay, and that's the way you want to have that on there. You want to have it with the nozzle resting on the holder, not the thread, but the nozzle. Okay, so now I am going to grab my material, which I have in a bobbin, and just put some I'm just holding a little bit of tension on that, and I'm going to loosen my vise up and begin to turn the vise toward me, and we have to negotiate the hook point for just a little bit, and then you'll see I can just go forward with it. Makes for a beautiful body. And I'm going to come in and catch that Actually, I probably should pull the, yeah, get that out of the way this way. Okay. Now that's in there. I'm going to put just one little whip finish in here to hold everything in place, just so it doesn't slip out on me. And then we're going to bring the bobbin cradle back. And once again, put the bobbin in the cradle. And again, I'm going to wrap or twist toward me. And by the way I'm holding it, it just makes for beautifully spaced ribs on that. The thing that's hard to do is sometimes as you go around the top of the hook, you'll lose the tension on whatever it is you're wrapping. And that can become a problem. Okay? Now we're good to go. 2 more materials and we have it. I have a Grizzly hackle that I've sized out to size 6. It's just like the hook. And we're going to tie that in right here. Okay. And then I'm going to wrap that probably 6-7 times. And then come in and trap it. And then trim away the waste. And then what I'm looking for here is I want to kind of sweep all of this back toward the rear of the hook and get that little effect going. Okay. There we go. And the final material is going to be a single black Marabou feather, which I am going to measure to be to the back of the tail. That in there. And then just tidy everything up in front. And if at this point, if you are someone who is not afflicted with the allergy to UV resin, that's exactly what I would use here in order to make that head of the fly look really nice and super glossy and pretty. I unfortunately have an allergy to that, to the UV resin. Therefore, I have to go old school, and I am going to use a little Sally Hansen's, hard as nails. Okay, and there you have it. That is the Brodhead Old Timer. If you like it, please comment or like, tell your friends. We love hearing from you. Until we meet again, I bid you peace.